episode 2 of Tic and Toc. He's Tic, and I'm Toc. And I guess we got a question, and...
Okay, the question was from the myclockstop.com. The person got a clock from their father-in-law. It's a mantle clock. Now the instructions were, as long as it's level, it will run. Well, he leveled it, and it's not running. What does he have to do?
Well, he probably should check and see if it's wound. And put the key in it, and try it both ways, and see if he can wind it. A lot of times, the clock will wind down, from transporting it from one place to another, and just see if it's, got a load on it. And if it's got a load, then it should, when you put the pendulum on, you should hear a nice tick tock at the back end of it. There's other reasons why it possibly won't run, and it could be because it's not on a level surface.
Well, he's got it leveled.
He's got it leveled.
And let's say he checked and it is wound. What else could be?
Well,
it's probably out of beat.
Could be out of beat, and
to get it back in beat, you would have to take and we already.
Yeah, we showed how to put it back in beat. But what about the hands and stuff?
Oh, well, it's up. Another reason why your clock would stop is you've got to have a little play in between the two hands. Many a times the hour hand isn't in far enough, so it might be a good idea to check and see if there's a little play between the two hands. Also, if the clock has a glass door, we haven't found out what type of clock it is. It's a mantle clock, but is it a triple chime, single chime, or just a bim bam?
If it has a balance wheel, that's another problem could have with it. We really don't know that much information on the clock, but the hands could be hitting.
Yes, if it's a clock.
A clock like this, and the hands could be touching each other, like he pointed out before, but it also could be hitting the side of the glass, and that would stop your clock too.
And it could happen with moving the clock around.
Yeah, it could happen, or it could have happened when he tried to set it. I think there's all kinds of reasons, but if we had more information on it, like I said, I mentioned balance wheel. Well, it doesn't even have a pendulum. It just got a balance wheel back there. That could have got jarred and not make the clock run. So when we have more information, we'll answer more of his questions. Is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
I think it's very good.
Let me just pose a hypothetical. If the clock runs, but only, let's say, for a day, it starts to run, and only for a day.
Dirty springs, dirty, gears,
So a cleaning job might be. How often does a mantle clock have to go in for cleaning from the clock shop?
Depending on what type of dust situation you have in your house, where it's located. I would say between 3 and 5 years, every clock should be cleaned.
Yeah,
and the manufacturer will tell you that too.
What can he check on the unit to see if it's dirty and in need of a cleaning? If it's a pivot?
Well, cleaning and oiling. If the clock has been stored in heat or in the attic for years, it definitely needs to be cleaned and oiled. Oiled especially, but if you get grit and dust and dirt in there, and the pivots, it's not going to run. It's going to wear the clock out faster. You should have some oil in there. It should, just like a car when you start running low on oil.
So altogether, if based on the information we have is that his father-in-law gave it to him, told him it should run as long as he has it leveled. So if he's not anticipating any major mechanical problems, it could just be a cleaning, right?
Chris, many a times a person really doesn't know that the clock has to be wound. Now, if that clock sit around for a while without a pendulum, it would have to sit around half a day. It'll run down if it doesn't have a pendulum on it. Now, if it's got a pendulum on it, it ran down, then there is something wrong with the clock. But not necessarily, though.
Yeah. Just make sure it's wound to begin with, and if this doesn't help them, maybe you could write in and tell us a little bit more. What type of clock? How old it is? What type of pendulum or balance wheel on it, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Thank you.